Gary, first thing, have you talked with your goalies and made a decision about that on Saturday?
Oh, we got this. I have made a decision, and I'm going to keep that close to the vest because I'm not into doing scouting reports for opposing teams. So I will straighten out. I know there's some media that think that it's an issue, and I believe in the past I said I have two very strong goalies that I really think are very good, and they're so good they're competing head-to-head for the spot, and they did, and they have, and we've chosen one, and we're looking forward to seeing him play.
What sort of things were you looking for in that competition to stand out?
You know what? Michael Ippoliti and Jimmy McCool are two different goalies, and that's what I love about it. Completely different styles, and it's going to allow us to have some diversity in the goal. If things aren't going well for somebody, we can easily put the other guy in. And I don't, I've told many people I don't feel that's a place of weakness. I think that's a position of strength for us, and I'm looking forward to them to prove to everybody that it is. So I'm excited.
What have you seen, obviously, from Jacksonville, I guess, in years past that stands out to you in terms of this game?
Well, Jacksonville's, they tend to play well early in the season. They've upset Duke a couple times, and those are the games that they've made statements in. Is those early season Duke games, and they've really, kind of hung their hat, and they prepare well, and they get ready, and they're certainly athletic offensively. Their goalie's very good, but I think we're pretty good too. So we're dialed in. I think we're ready to execute and play our best game come Saturday.
How do you keep your team mentally prepared facing a team like Jacksonville's coming into the dome and trying to, shock them?
Oh, I think that's easy. We're focused on us and what we need to do to demonstrate the type of team we are, and we haven't beaten anybody. We haven't won anything, so there's no reason to be overconfident or feel like we've been there. We're out to prove to ourselves how good we can be, and that's the focus, and that's what we're working on. So I know every guy's doing their homework and making sure they're ready, and we're really encouraging them to be mentally prepared so they can have their best game come Saturday.
Not to give away more scouting reports, but could you see some diversity at the Faceoff X this year, or is that really John's kind of job to?
Well, I'll be honest. He's our number one for sure, but with the new rules, you got to have someone. If there's a violation, if he has a violation, someone else has to take it. So, we're working on. We got a core of guys that have lots of experience, and I think that's an opportunity to give guys a chance to see what they can do in real games. Practice is one thing, but games are completely different, especially from the Faceoff X on competing for ground balls and winning it, but keeping the possession. All those types of things come into play in games. So I think you got Johnny Mullen, and then you got the rest of the guys that we're going to see who rises to the occasion.
Coach, I talked with Joey Spallina last time out, and he said that the reason he's going with the mullet is to kind of go back to your era. What are your thoughts about, he said it's going to be more than just him that's going to do that. What are your thoughts on the mullet and everybody else?
You know what? Every team, guys do things. They have things that help build a team and build some build chemistry amongst themselves. And a bunch of the guys went out and got haircuts, and that's what helps, that helps. But they're doing the work in practice on the field, and I can't wait to see Joey back out in the field.
Besides the mullet, what are some things that you added, if any, to kind of combat the high expectations going into the season?
Again, I think it's been the approach that our staff's taken that, preseason polls and things like that don't mean anything. We didn't go to a Final Four last year. We didn't win a championship. We didn't reach our goals. So we got a ton of work to do, and we need to be better this year. So that's what we've been working on.
Coach, I spoke with Owen Hiltz last week, he joked that he's tried to look less old in terms of his work this offseason. What have you seen from him so far this year in terms of his game?
You know what? I think it's been, his best preseason, best fall ever. And I attribute that to the fact that he spent the summer playing with professional lacrosse players the entire summer, and he's been injured a few summers before that, so he really hasn't played, and I think that experience has really helped build a level of confidence, made him a little bit sharper, crisper out there. So, I love the way he's playing right now, and I'm hoping he does some great things for us.
You said it's the best fall you've seen him. Like, what specifically have you seen from him in terms of?
Like I said, he's just a step quicker. He's making a little better decisions. He's everything's got a quicker pace to it, and it comes from when you're playing with the best players in the world, which he did, with and against up in Canada. The NLL, PLL players, he got to face those guys, play with them, play against them, to sharpen his skills even a little bit more than he has in the past few years. He hasn't been playing box the last few summers before that.
You mentioned the face-off rule. Is there any other adjustments you're making this season? Anything new that you've got to get your team used to? Or?
We got to calm down the celebration on the sidelines. I know that. Point of emphasis, no running on the field to celebrate a goal. So we've had that conversation. We'll see how that goes.
How much can Syracuse fans expect Peyton Anderson to be playing in Game 1, and what are some of his strengths that you see from him?
Peyton's a very good athlete, super athletic, can dodge anybody, shoots very well. And you're going to see him. He's going to make some opportunities, get some opportunities. Hopefully, make some plays. We've had some conversations about expectations, and that you just want to put yourself in a position to be ready to play, and the plays will happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing his first collegiate game.
Coach, I wanted to ask you something a little away from the program. A couple weeks ago, the United States and Canada sent out a statement calling on the IOC to have the Haudenosaunee compete in the 2020 Olympics. What would that mean for both the lacrosse community and the Indigenous community here that I know you're connected to if the Haudenosaunee can compete under their own flag in LA?
It's a very complicated situation, and I think everybody in the lacrosse world's hoping that it can happen, and they're supporting the Haudenosaunee, and I do as well. But we're just hoping for a positive outcome, and hoping the Olympic Committee can find a way to make a decision that's in favor of them participating. So that would be awesome.
2 more questions.
Gary, last year Billy Dwan really developed a skill to take it down and the confidence to score. Is that something you encourage him to do when he's got the opportunity to break away?
Well, it's kind of funny. I was talking to my buddy Rick Beardsley the other day, and I didn't know this, but Rick's like, oh my God, that Billy's, he's probably the leading scorer for a close defenseman last year in the country. And he said, I only had 6 goals my best year as a close defender. And I was like, oh, really? So I didn't realize Billy was at a higher pace than you were. Like, that's amazing. And he goes, yeah, he really thinks highly of him, and as do I. And he's got the green light to run that transition. His shooting percentage is through the roof from last year, and he handles the ball well. He makes great decisions and also some spectacular plays. So we're hoping we get more of those this year.
Final question.
What can you say about, obviously, Joey, Michael, and all the kids in that 2022 class now that they're juniors? What have you seen from them in terms of their connection and sort of their mentality to try and, I guess, lead this program back to?
I think they're growing up. I think that's a great thing about, your freshman year, you're kind of clueless and trying to figure it out. Your sophomore year, you kind of get it, you get some confidence. And then your junior year, you've been there and you've done it before. So you can look back and learn from your experiences and make better decisions. So I think that whole group has a lot of confidence right now, and they believe in each other, and they're on a mission. Their goal when they came here was to help turn this program around, get us back to winning national championships. And they're putting in the work, and as far as a coach, I couldn't be happier to have a group of guys like that lead this team.